Hey, I'm Nick Mornay, the creator of Toolbox. Toolbox 7 is out, and I felt it was the perfect time to dive deep into what makes our box series so powerful. And today, we're diving deep into clap sounds. I'll show you how to craft pounding bass lines, punchy kicks, grooves, and dynamic synths using Toolbox and StudioMon stock plugins. Alright, let's go. Now, let's start with Lead Architect and how to take things further. First, you'll find a Toolbox Architect folder. This one's packed with raw building blocks for sound creation and a section called Raw Synths. These are actually sampled wavetables. It's not technically scanning through waves like a wavetable synth would, but it responds beautifully to movement and modulation. So, with a bit of imagination, it gets you in the zone. I'll show you how in just a bit. Then we've got the Toolbox Elements folder. This one is designed as a more approachable entry point. Handpick sounds from the Toolbox collection that are ready to go. Now, let's build a bass from scratch, shall we? I'm starting with one of these. A clean foundation that gives us plenty of room to shape the sound. First, I'm shortening the decay because bass needs focus and tightness, especially in a mix. And next, I'm heading to the modulation matrix to assign the amp envelope to the filter. This gives the sound a dynamic shape where the brightness follows the envelope, adding movement and punch. Fine-tuning a little bit, yeah. Let's add a bit of drive and punch. And let's add a bit of width and personality using the internal flanger. It brings subtle motion and character while still keeping the bass solid and centered. Sounds good. Maybe a bit more crunch, distortion, yeah. That's basically how you get started with bass creation with Lead Architect and Toolbox Architect. Okay, now let's take things a step further with a slightly more advanced approach. Let me show you. Let's start with this. Not really clubby, but we'll end up with something much better. Something like this. Oh yeah, first, something important. When swapping out parts or samples, make sure to activate Lock. This keeps your current settings intact. If you don't, everything resets and you'll have to rebuild your sound from scratch. And trust me, this saves time and frustration. Look at the modulation matrix. It's much more advanced than what we had before. I encourage you to experiment with it. I love that one, really solid. Yeah, you've got different elements to mess with that you can tweak as well. That was the starting point. But in the clubs, you want something like this. You will find a link to this free bass template in the description. Perfect for tweaking and creating your own basses moving forward. Now let's take advantage of the 3 layers coming up with Lead Architect. Let's add some movement to the first layer. Now you know the drill. Shaping up your sound. we have a vibe. Always try to get a vibe from the sounds you're working on before piling up or stuffing your track with nonsense. The sounds need to trigger some sort of emotional response in you. If they don't, you have two options. Work on it or get rid of it. Don't be too precious. Okay, now let's add some movement here. A bit more bite. Good. Nice movement. Now it's driving. Second layer. Good. Third layer. Okay, now it's conflicting with the first one, so we'll fix that. Now you have the full track with one preset. Toolbox and Lead Architect. Studio One music loops are like sonic Polaroids. They capture the full moment, instruments, effects, patterns, the whole vibe. You should use them to quickly save ideas without losing momentum. So I suggest creating a tab in your browser called Ideas, always visible, always accessible, so you can effortlessly drop stuff into it and move on. Because the second it feels like a journey, laziness wins and you'll default to relying on memory instead. But let's be real, 6 months or a year from now, you won't remember that perfect sound or fortunate accident. That's why this habit matters. As David Allen says, your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Alright, let's talk about Mojito, an all-time favorite of mine. And honestly, one of the most underrated and overlooked synths in history. Don't let the simple interface fool you. This thing sounds awesome. And I use it on pretty much everything I produce or remix. And here's a modded version of it, Mojito Extreme. Pushing it even further. Let's dive in and check it out. Now, let's jump into Sample 1 XT, our jam tool, loaded with raw, unprocessed sounds. Think 90s gear, the Akai S series, my older Roland S550. Machines that had character, limitations, and revealed their true nature when processed. It's not about perfection, it's about vibe. Let me show you what I mean.
Brothers be mad about nothing, yeah, they never ever say something. Or they pissed about something, yeah, they still won't say nothing. Be mad about nothing, say something. Pissed about something, yeah, they still won't say nothing. Be mad about nothing, say something.
Okay, now, these are some beats used on my Britney Spears and will.i.am rework. Pitch bended bass, and then some.
Mind your business, bitch. mind your business, bitch.
Another stock plugins to consider is Studio One's Arpeggiator. It's not just a technical tool, it's a serious inspiration machine. We've ported a range of classic arpeggio patterns, including programs from the legendary Access Virus, and expanded beyond that. These are directly playable in Studio One, no setup needed. It's a great way to break creative blocks and kickstart new ideas. That's where the magic is. Especially for club music, it can be that spark that sets everything in motion. Another tool to consider is Chorder, and Chord Bank is giving you a full palette of playable chords. Chord Explorer takes it further with over 600 pre-built progressions. I remember having fun with that one, so I'll use that one for my demo now. I'll pick a synth. This one could be good, yeah. Great. Rich and lush chords. Sounds good to me. Okay, I'll go with that. Okay, I will render that. Okay, the Toolbox presets. Bit Crusher. Extreme. Now we're vibing. There's something cool to do with that. Sounds good to me. Remember how we started. Chorder, Studio One, Toolbox. Another thing you may want to do is your own fills, so you can use the Toolbox fills collection for your breakdowns. It's really easy to set up. Just add the arpeggiator and impact and you're good to go. You can tweak your own sounds. You have full control. Make your own tensions. Groovy as well. Obviously, making loops with Studio Ones needs no introduction. Here, I'll be showcasing a couple of new ideas behind the loops we have created for Toolbox Heaven. Okay, that will do for now. Toolbox 7 comes with a new set of loops like lo-fi. Always groovy, with some character to it. There's also some vintage touch to it to add something special. But the groove was the name of the game, so it will always work, whatever you do, genre, styles, tempo. And the processed ones with a lot of different treatment to put in your loops. They can play in the background. It adds some really magic touch. I believe we have like more than 300 new loops to be injected into your productions. Also, Toolbox comes with an insane amount of one-shots. Now, while we're all used to drag and dropping stuff, I'm going to show you a better way to control your drum foundations. And because we made it so easy, it won't even feel like a trade-off. Just click on a drum machine icon. It loads everything in one go. It adds Impact XT and creates a pattern track. Now, get used to dragging your drums onto pads, not the arranger. And yeah, you'll thank me later. Now, a quick tip to set your pre-claps. Just make a shorter loop. Trust me, this will save your soul and sanity. And you can duplicate later. With drums now in Impact XT, you no longer have to commit. You can tweak, swap, and reshape your rhythm as you go, keeping the groove aligned with the track's direction. And rather than spending 2 hours hunting for the perfect kick, or reach for EQs, try this. Send the amp decay to 0 and adjust the hold fader. You will instantly feel how the pulse sits in your track. It's instinctive. You're working with intention. Not reacting or compromising in response to sounds that don't fit. Now, let's talk about grooves. Toolbox takes grooves seriously. That's why we're providing classic groove templates. And one question we often get is, how do I apply your grooves to patterns in Studio One? Well, that's easy. Select your event, convert to part, and break it down.
Running the sides and now we'll flies. And we gon' kick it this time cause you know it's a vibe.
Now go to Q. Oh, there's something, so let's apply.
Running the sides and now we'll flies.
Let's emphasize this beat with some DMX.
Let the music get up in your mind and take you high. Let the music get up in your mind and take you high.
Apply.
Running the sides and now we'll flies. And we gon' kick it this time cause you know it's a vibe.
Yeah, it's way more bumpy now.
Let the music get up in your mind and take you high. Yes, sir. Running the sides and now we'll flies. And we gon' kick it this time cause you know it's a vibe.
And that's how you do it. Easy. So from the toolbar you can create stems.
Running the sides and now we'll flies. And we gon' kick it this time cause you know it's a vibe. Let the music get up in your mind and take you high. Let the music get up in your mind and take you high. Yes, sir. Running the sides and now we'll flies. And we gon' kick it this time cause you know it's a vibe. Let the music get up in your mind and take you high. Let the music get up in your mind and take you high.
Okay, let's have some fun and mess up with the vocals with our remix tool. Or we could try to generate new versions as well with the generator. Or use the auto split icon to generate your own stuff to mess with. Because we're using some universal mapping with all our kits, you can recycle your old grooves. You don't have to reprogram anything or reassign kicks, snares, everything will work. As you can see, everything is perfectly labeled. and organized. You can tweak what you see. There is no guessing games. It's also color-coded for Atom and Atom SQ owners. That's how we do it. Okay, now different mode with the clap machine inspired by the claptrap. It's easy to launch here. It comes with a macro control and easy to set up. Good. Then you can control almost everything, the reverb. We found the most accurate to give that kind of feel. You can control the crowd, the decay, the filters, really to tailor it to your track. And control the pitch as well. Now, if you want something a bit more natural, you can use the Clap Studio. It is found in the Kits menu, Clap Studio. Okay, it's easy to set up. Oops. Good. And you have different flavors that you can play with. So let's try the disco one. With different reverbs. And once you're happy with the sound, you can make them play throughout your track. Render. Good. They're using round robin, so every clap will be different, adding life and vibe to your recordings, just like in the good old days. And something else to consider is a new set of tools called the Designer Series. What you're about to see is valid for all of them, so the principle is the same. Okay, so you have control on the top, noise, body, and attack, so you can audition each of them. And also change them at pad levels to fix whatever you want to fix, you know, it could be the tilt, the snap, the attack, whatever. They also come with their own macro controls, giving you a full control on all the parameters to create your own sound. You can tweak stuff, yeah. You can control the body, the attack, the pitch. There are some extra tools to add some flavor. Yeah. It's really instinctive as well, so you can change it as you feel it. The Designer Series, Toolbox. Now, we've also added some templates to Toolbox Heaven. Now you can use macro controls on the project page. And this tool is giving you some control on various elements. You can clean the mid side, add the limiter, and really massage your track with a more intuitive and instinctive feeling. You know what you want from your track, and you can feel it by having full control in an intuitive way. Something definitely worth a try. Now, when it comes to vocoding, we made it super easy. You just have to click and everything is set up and you're ready to go. We also have some really expressive carriers from the Toolbox Carriers collection. And now, here's the a cappella of the vocoding session I've created for my remix for Danny Minogue's For the Record and her #1 album. And now the full version.
Track your body down, track your body down.
Needless to say that it's also a Toolbox festival. When it comes to vocoders, original hardware setups were daunting. We're talking complex routing, a whole lot of head scratching just to get a basic sound going. Not anymore. With Toolbox, a single click and you're good to go. Usually, when it comes to vocoders, we tend to stick with playing chords. And sure, that can sound really cool, as you're hearing now. We've had a few questions about our Toolbox Reloaded demo, so here's a look at the actual session. Hopefully, it gives you some insight and sparks ideas you can use in your own productions. In this session, we'll go beyond and try some more experimental approaches, like triggering arpeggios and sequences.
Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good, eating. Now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good, eating. Now I'm Gucci, trust me.
As you can see, I'm using really short notes. We're also going to tap into a lesser-known feature of Studio One's vocoder, which we've mapped to our macro control. By freezing the vocal signal at just the right moment, you can capture crunchy, animated textures and discover something truly unique and moving tones. And once you've got something interesting, don't stop there. You can automate it for even more movement and musicality.
Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good, eating. Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here.
Let's go.
Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good. Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good. Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here, eating good. Drop this, now I'm Gucci, trust me. We eating good over here.
Request your next obsession in the comments. No feature too nerdy, no idea too weird. If there's a Toolbox or Studio One feature you're curious about, let me know below. I might cover it in the next video. Thank you so much for staying with me. Now it's time to hit play, get creative and make some noise. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This is Luc Mornay signing off. Until then, stay safe, stay awesome and happy music making.